Good morning. I'm going to bring you guys along on a what I eat in a day video and a chat here on the porch. The last what I eat in a day video I did, I was telling you about my calorie deficit and how I'm pushing a little bit towards weight loss, seeing how my body responds. And I have been pleasantly surprised with how well it has responded. I've lost 5 or 6 pounds right now, and I say 5 or 6 because I'm doing things a little bit differently on this fat loss phase, calorie deficit phase than I have in the past. I am not weighing myself very often. As much as I want to say, oh, it's just data and it doesn't affect me and, you know, whatever. When I am weighing myself every day, there's this, it's kind of like this competition thing, even though it's just with myself, where it's like, ooh, you know, I got a good number down. I'm going to try to eat fewer calories. Like there's this little push. Or if it's a day where I feel like I need more calories, like right around my cycle or something, I'm less likely to allow that for myself because, oh, I want to make sure that the number on the scale and make sure it doesn't go up or, you know, whatever. And I just really want that to be quiet. And I'm not saying that weighing yourself is bad for everybody. Just for me in this phase, I am choosing to just not let that be a big deal. So it could be that my weight is going up and down, but I'm not on the roller coaster with it because I don't see it every day. I will weigh myself every once in a while. It kind of just is whenever I feel like it. But it's, you know, not more than once a week. So not focusing on the scale, but the one thing that I really am focusing on, like this is how I win the day, is sticking to the macros I have assigned for myself. So I talked about this in the other video. The basic macros that I'm doing, well, I forget if I've changed it since that other video. So what basically I'm doing right now is around 1,800 calories, which is a deficit for me because I bumped my metabolism way up to where I was eating like 2,500 without gaining. And so bumping down to 1,800 is a pretty big cut from that. So that's one of the keys I've been finding to have a successful calorie cut. You have to do the work before doing a calorie cut to get your metabolism high enough that you can cut down without going down to the bottom of the barrel and having to eat nothing. So really the bump up in metabolism is just as important as the calorie cut phase. So anyways, around 1,800 calories. I think my protein is set at 117 grams per day. My fat is, I think, 46 grams per day. And then my carbs are set at 230. And I do try to get around 30 grams of fiber per day. I don't really track that super heavily just because when I eat the foods that I've just been normally eating, I hit that pretty easily, so I don't have to micromanage it. It kind of just happens when I eat a whole food diet that I'm, you know, trying to eat. So I have been doing this calorie deficit the whole month of April. We're right at the end of April now where I am filming this video. So I've been doing it for a whole month. So to have lost somewhere between 4 and 6 pounds, 4 and 8 pounds even, maybe somewhere in there, that feels pretty good for a month. And I'm definitely feeling it. Like my clothes are fitting better and I'm feeling slimmer. So that just feels really, really good. And it's actually kind of fun because there are times in weight loss where I will feel a lot slimmer and then get on the scale and see that it's not lower, or it's not a number that I expect it to be. And you're like, oh, darn, nothing really did happen. But then I was feeling slimmer. And so without the daily weighing, I'm able to feel slimmer and be happy about it and not even care what the number goes along with it. Like I'm just happy that my clothes are fitting better. So that's been really fun. I did have my birthday this week. It was a couple of days ago. And so I have had some treats the last few days and my calories have definitely been higher, which actually worked out pretty well because I'm wanting to do an 8-week fat loss phase. And it's a good idea to have a few days of higher calorie right in the middle. And it just happened to be, I didn't plan it this way, but it just happened to be my birthday was right in the middle of the fat loss phase. So I had that, I enjoyed it, had all kinds of treats that my kids made for me. And it was super fun celebration, but I am, you know, that's done. And now I'm going back to my 1,800 calorie macro breakdown, and I'm going to try to do it for the month of May and kind of see where I get by that point. And then I think probably, depending on how I feel, I will start reversing out of the calorie deficit and probably get back up to 2,200, maybe 2,300 if I can. Probably won't go all the way back to 2,500 because I have lost some weight, and you don't want to just jump right back to what your maintenance was before. You kind of have to find what your maintenance is after the fat loss phase. So I'm thinking, you know, kind of work my way back up to 2,300 or so and go from there. So anyways, today is going to be a regular 1,800 calories sticking to my macros day. I will bring you along for that. I have already had my protein coffee. I did a video a few weeks ago talking about the way I make my whey protein coffee. I don't have it every single morning, but I have it here and there. And this morning I had protein coffee and I had about an ounce of dates. That's been my morning snack recently, just to get a few carbs in me to bring cortisol down and give me some fuel to start the morning, especially if I'm going to be working out first thing in the morning. So I've had that, and that is about 200 calories so far. I will, once I get hungry again, I will have some breakfast. Right now I'm going to go in and do a little bit of a workout, and then I'm going to do my red light therapy, take my shower, and I'll probably be ready for breakfast somewhere in there after that. Okay, I finished my workout. It was just a quick, 45-minute stretch and kind of cardio yoga. So got some good mobility and stretching in there and a little bit of movement to start the day. My goal for steps right now is 12,000 per day. I'm at 2,400, so definitely got to get a few more in later on throughout the day. I'm about to go down to do my red light therapy, and I grabbed an element to sip on while I do my red light therapy to get hydrated this morning. I have had my coffee, and I do put a little bit of salt in my coffee, but I feel like I need a full panel of electrolytes in the morning to make sure I get fully hydrated. Element has the sodium, potassium, and magnesium in a science-backed ratio. These 12-ounce sparklings are really convenient, and they're half the amount of electrolytes that are in each of the packets. So it's nice to have one of these in the morning. And then a little bit later today, I will show you the brand new pink lemonade packets of Element. They're available to insiders only right now. I told you on my last video that I would let you know what I thought about the flavor as soon as I got it. I have gotten it, and I think I've had it every single day since it came in the mail because it is so good. So I will have one of those a little bit later today. I will show you that it is actually pink because it has the raspberry powder in there. So good. So anyways, this video is sponsored by Element, and if you want to give Element a try, you can get a free sample pack just by using my link, drinkelement.com/indigo, DRINKLMNT.com/indigo. Head over to the website using that link, place an order for anything. Maybe you want to become an insider and grab the pink lemonade. Maybe you want to try some of the 12-ounce sparkling cans. Just place an order, and if you used my link to get there, you will automatically get the free sample pack of 8 packets to try out or to pass on to a friend. Thanks to Element for sponsoring the video. Now I'm going to head down and do my red light therapy while I sip. I am going to eat my oatmeal peach Greek yogurt bowl here outside. The weather is supposed to be beautiful today, like a high of 78 or something ridiculous. So very excited about that. And then after I eat, I will show you our new additions to the farm, geese and some new ducklings. But Kronk always wants to be the star of the show. Okay, I have my steel cut oats in here. It was 50 grams of dry steel cut oats cooked in water with some salt. And then some cinnamon and some vanilla. mixed in there. And then I have in a cup 8 ounces of the 2% Fage Greek yogurt. That's where I'm getting most of my protein here. Then I have 10 grams of brown sugar sprinkled on top and 6 ounces of canned peaches. We're kind of doing a pantry challenge right now, trying to work through stuff in our pantry rather than buying lots of fresh things. So we got canned peaches today instead of fresh fruit, which still delicious, still delicious. All right, those are our new 5 gooses. Renee is their best friend. Renee likes to get into the boat and paddle around in the water, and they are swimming around with her, and she feeds them pieces of grass, and they're just so happy. All right, and here are our new ducklings. They grow so fast, so they already look big. We have 10 of them, 3 of one variety, 7 of another variety. And they're super cute and as dumb as ever. You could just sit out here and watch duck TV. It's so great. All right, it's been 1 hour since I had my oatmeal bowl, and so I'm gonna check my blood sugar. I just thought I would mention, because some people aren't aware of, what's a healthy response with blood sugar and all that. So what I am going with is I don't want my blood sugar to spike above 140 1 hour or 2 hours after my meal. And at 2 hours after my meal, I want my blood sugar to be kind of back down towards my baseline, like what my fasting blood sugar usually is. I did not get my fasting blood sugar this morning, but it is usually in the 80s, just somewhere in the 80s. Usually mid 80s. So at the 2 hour mark, I just want it back down, under 100 or so. And then as long as I don't see it over 140 either of the times, the 1 or the 2 hour, I'm very happy with it. I will put the macros on the screen for the meal so you can see the blood sugar response 1 hour after that meal. 80. So even at the 1 hour mark after my meal, which was something around 70 grams of carbohydrates, including 10 grams of straight brown sugar, and oatmeal, which apparently is supposed to be so bad for your blood sugar, some people say, my blood sugar at the point where it would be the highest usually at that 1 hour mark, it's at an 80, which I would be really happy with as a fasting blood sugar. It has now been 2 hours since my meal. 83.
They love it.
You have the best grass for them?
No.
They're so funny.
Somehow there's food quick in the boat.
Oh.
I held one and it was calm. Earlier they were going crazy for it.
Yeah.
I think they just ate a lot of it. They're bored.
I've been wanting to make a curry recently, so I decided to finally go ahead and do it. I have some beef in here. It was like a lean beef roast that I chopped up really small, sauteed it up, and then I put a few spices in there and the curry paste. I'm using the Thai and True Massaman curry paste. And then beef broth plus red lentils. So it's going to be a beef red lentil coconut curry. These are my red lentils. And then I have this bowl of veggies that I'm going to throw in after the lentils are all cooked. I didn't want these to turn to mush. I want them to have still a bite to them. So I will add them in at the end and then just cook for a minute or so. Carrots and some big chunks of onion and some cabbage. Last thing I'm going to add is the coconut milk. While I'm making lunch, I'm going to mix up my packet of pink lemonade element. Okay, focus. This is absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. Love, love, love this flavor. They totally hit it out of the park. So good. And of course, the pink is all natural coloring from the raspberries. It just looks so fun. Here is my cute bowl of curry. I made it all fancy with my little island of rice in the middle. This is some sushi ginger. Got this from Costco. I love the giant jars of it because the little tiny jars that I used to get, no, never enough. And I have a ton of curry left for other meals. I love red lentils in curry because they kind of disintegrate and just give a really nice texture and thickness to the curry. And it adds lots of protein and all the good fiber and stuff like that as well. It's just an excellent choice for curry. So I am going to enjoy this. It is about 1:15 right now. Here is my blood sugar 1 hour after my meal. I will put the macros on the screen for you again. 96. And this is 2 hours after my meal. I do notice that I have a little bit higher blood sugar responses at the lunch meal versus breakfast and dinner, which is kind of interesting. Still, 99 is not anywhere near that 140, so I'm happy with it, but it is interesting to note that lunch seems to be just a tad bit higher. I am putting together my dinner. I'm doing a baked potato bowl with broccoli. I have the broccoli cooking in the air fryer. These are my baked potatoes, extra for the family. I have 6 ounces of russet potato in here. I'm going to use, I forget how much, maybe 4 ounces of these chicken tenders. It was just a package of chicken tenders that I coated in cowboy butter seasoning. This is pretty good. It's garlicky. If you like garlic, it's good. So I'm going to chop some of those up and put it on there. I'm going to put my roasted broccoli in there, and then I'm going to top it with some roasted red peppers. I love these from Trader Joe's. They don't have any oil in them or anything, so they're very, very low calorie, and it adds really nice flavor and bulk to the meal. I'm going to add some tamed jalapeno peppers and some pico de gallo, and then I'm going to add some of my nacho cheese. This is a recipe I made on the channel many years ago, and I discovered that it's not actually that high of fat. You can get a pretty good amount of queso for pretty low fat grams, and it adds a lot of nice creamy flavor. It is delicious. So I will put that recipe up in the cards for you to check out, and I'll show you my bowl when I get it all put together. All right, there is my very loaded baked potato bowl. It doesn't look incredibly attractive, but I think it's going to be delicious. Here is blood sugar at 1 hour after my potato meal. Now we are 2 hours after my meal. Just finished my walk. It's getting dark outside, sitting at 88. Here's how my macros ended up for the day. I got pretty close to my targets, and I will mention that I am not super concerned about getting exactly the macros. If I'm between 1700 and 1900, I'm pretty happy. Just kind of in the range. I'm trying not to obsess over exact. So you can see I definitely went over my carbs. I went under on my fat, a little bit over on my protein, but my calories were still in the 1800 range. So I'm pretty happy with that. So my calories ended up at 1,880. I got 121.8 grams of protein. I got 40.1 grams of fat. I got 259.6 grams of carbs, and 31.8 of those grams of carbs came from fiber. So right there at that around 30 grams of fiber goal. As far as the percentage breakdown, I had 55% of my calories from carbohydrates, 25.8% from protein, and 19.1% from fat. So that is my day today. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you again in the next video.